I'm now in conversation with Adhipen Bose Nandhiji. He's the founder and visionary at DOCM and CNESS. Nandhiji, thank you so much for talking to us here today. First up, DOCM, Declaration of Consciousness Movement. What is that and why is it so important?
Declaration of consciousness is our idea in time. Consciousness is an idea that is unstoppable. When we think of products, we expect quality. How about belief systems having a quality to it? And this is to address the need of every human. Every human wishes to be happy, peaceful, wishes to grow, wishes to multiply their potential. And that is consciousness. And that we are introducing on a global scale with hope that the majority of the nations across the globe will adopt Declaration of Consciousness.
And it's a very interesting 9-part framework. So it's got some of the basic tenets of what life should be. There's ahimsa, there's love for your common human being, child, women's care. Can you take me quickly through these 9 tenets?
Yes. The first is ahimsa, which essentially is non-violence, and it comes from the realization that we are all one. When we say namaste, we are not just recognizing the divinity within each other, we are really worshipping each other. Now imagine our planet. If everyone could understand that, then we revere women. So when we say women's equality or women's rights, it is so important. Where women are as equal, there's more inclusivity, tolerance, righteousness in that society or community. Likewise, those children, they are the next generation. We need to take care of them. Education, well-being. Likewise, there's freedom of thought, to question things, to seek greater answers. Likewise, there's the unity amongst all of us, all paths to consciousness should not just be tolerated, should be celebrated. Right?
Absolutely.
Likewise is equality, righteousness, inclusivity. These are a hallmark of any progressive society. Likewise is conscious organizations. Now, planet Earth is ours. If we could take care of it together, consciousness is the solution to all the most impossible predicaments we as humanity face.
Yes, this is so much needed. And like you started, that we're hoping more of the world's countries come together, because this is so very much the need of the hour. I want to turn back the clock a little.
Okay.
How did you get to this? You've had an amazing life. I've heard a little. I've read about you. I've researched about you. You've done so much. On one part, you've run successful businesses. On the other, you've gone off for tapasya for years. How was that journey like? Can you give me glimpses of that fabulous journey?
I had done my MBA in England, and I came down to India, and I was very ambitious. So I was in the granite business, one of the fastest growing companies at that time, and then I saw my death experience. I saw my death coming to me. And my guru, for the first time, I had never met him before, he took me through my death and took me to a place where I realized I was the spirit inside this body. And that began my yogic journey within myself for 9 years. I connected with my other gurus, like Guru Ayya, who was in the caves meditating for over 18 years, and so many other sages. And then they guided me. I would call that a period of my incubation. 10 days before September 11th, I was in America. And September 11th takes place. And my first question was, this simply cannot be. And what is the solution to this? 3 years later, they had me commemorate Bhakti Fest, one of the large yoga spiritual gatherings in California. And I had to commemorate it, the September 11th. So I had everyone chant the name Allah. And I had everyone think and conceptualize us going around clockwise with a prayer, please Allah, give a greater thought.
Yeah, yeah.
And then came the idea, the solutions, and that was the declaration of consciousness. Now, all we are seeking is think from above. This is not about religion anymore. This is about the basic essence of a human.
Yeah.
We have the capacity to be better. Everyone wants to grow. So this is the declaration of consciousness that, to me, feels that every human has the potential to be divine. And the moment we start the journey, then we better ourselves and collectively we are arising together.
So, Nandhiji, you say you have this death experience and your guru helped you through that. Every experience teaches us something. Every experience takes something away from us.
Okay.
What did this experience teach you and what did you lose with this experience?
You know, when I was taken through my death experience, the first thing I experienced was a state of joy, a state of bliss. I was crying. I was crying out of happiness. I felt the word liberation, liberated from my body, liberated from my mind, and most important, liberated from karma. You know, see, all of us, we enact life based on our karmic patterns. But what if suddenly we realize we are not the body anymore. We are the spirit having the human experience. And that spirit having the human experience was pure states of joy. And so to have that began the process of discipline, yogic discipline. Waking up in the morning, doing my yoga, understanding what to eat,
Yeah.
what is it that I want to put inside myself as thoughts. And the discipline of a yogi then cause greater and greater and greater joy. And then soon you understand you are bliss.
Yeah.
Your body is love. You are love.
Yeah.
And that love is wisdom.
So I will ask you to take a pause there.
Yes.
You know, you said when you wake up in the morning, most of us are guilty to waking up in the morning before we even turn. We've picked up our mobile phone, we've seen social media, we've checked our email. What do you do in the morning? I would love to get a peek at that.
Okay, the first thing is think of your mother and father and thank your mother and father for your existence. Set gratitude as the first step of the thought. Gratitude to be alive. Gratitude to your mother and father. Your left hand is your mother, your right hand is your father. Rub your palm slowly. Gratitude to my mother, gratitude to my father. And thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And see everything from the cellular level. Pay gratitude. That's the first. The second is think of God, Source, Lord Ganapati, and say, please God, give me the right thoughts.
Yeah.
You have the right thoughts, everything works. Everything ultimately is your thought. So the moment you make a prayer, please God, give me the right thoughts, now you're on the go. Now when you get started, prepare yourself to doing your yoga. What do you mean by this yoga? It's like climbing up the mountain. Once you climb up the mountain and you reach the peak, everything is good, beautiful, happy, right?
Yeah.
Reach that state. Once you've reached that state, now you're like an eagle gliding.
Yeah.
You see all of the day's experience, all of the experience like an eagle. You're gliding.
Yeah.
And yet you can bring your mind to focus.
Nandhiji, let's take now to the other part of your
Okay.
life, which is setting up these successful organizations, business, apps. So I want you to first tell me a little bit about CNESS.
Okay.
What is it? How did you come up with the idea?
Okay. The first is ultimately it is through interaction, engagement, and connectivity that we can reach each other. But then I look into the various pain points of humanity. The first pain point is the pandemic of loneliness.
Yes.
The second is lack of recognition. The third is lack of dependable, trustworthy connections. Likewise is a struggle for livelihood. All of this has a solution, and that is the CNESS consciousness social media super app.
Okay.
So this social media super app is a comprehensive app that includes the best of all the sites, all the social medias, as on one platform.
Okay.
Then came the next dimension, which is organizations need to essentially be valued for its content of greater goodness,
Yeah.
profit beyond cause. So when we certify companies conscious, we now pull them up in recognition on a global stage and expose them to the vast millions or billions of the conscious global community. So companies that are doing good need to be empowered,
Of course.
and
for
that
sure.
is CNESS Works.
Okay. Wow.
So CNESS Works essentially is providing a gateway of commerce. For instance, if there's no Alibaba, there's no China. What if we were the bridge for companies across over 100 nations and companies that are doing good, needing to be having all the strength. In this process, we build their brand. We enable the word trust, and most important, give them the impact necessary.
You speaking about kind of building a bridge. So I will ask you this, Nandhiji, that how are you building the bridge between these kind of two worlds? So one end is this spiritual
Okay.
yogi, done tapasya for 9 years. At the other end, you're here, you're running this successful business. You've done businesses earlier, so you're and Western education. How are you connecting that bridge?
Yes. See, when you take the path of yoga, go within, the first realization is the law of karma. That is taking responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
Then you realize the law of dharma, and that is what is your higher purpose? Why are you here? The moment you realize why you are here, you know your higher purpose. Once you know your higher purpose, you realize, okay, this is what gives me joy to do. In mine, it is addressing the pain points of humanity.
Yes.
For instance, in CNESS Works, it is companies, organizations can do better,
Yeah.
and there are many doing that. Second, the good guys need to be not only recognized, but engaged with and supported and uplifted.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, as my purpose it is that consciousness needs reach humanity. And from a yogic perspective, if you can light the lamp within yourself, your journey has begun. You're expanding consciousness. And this means you attain the supermind.
So, Nandhiji, I'll play a bit of a devil's
Okay.
advocate with you. You know, if the Siddha masters that you've sat with, that you've learned from, that you've meditated with, come talk to you today, see what you are doing today, do you feel they'll be happy, proud, or do you think they'll just softly smile and go back their way?
There are three aspects here. The first is when we step into the path within ourselves, I say the path of light, the I dissolves and becomes the we. Now, my Siddha masters are the we.
Lovely.
So, when I feel them inside me, and I allow them to do my thinking for me, the we.
Yeah.
The third dimension is, in the physical, my gurus did tell me, go ahead to humanity, step down into the world, go into reaching humanity and convey to them the light through experience,
Yeah.
through uplifting their consciousness. So, yes, they'll be smiling because they are the ones creating it.
What could you say? I mean, of course, there are many moments in our lives. Would you say the death experience moment was the one that kind of pivoted the whole life? Would that be one of the top moments of your journey?
That definitely was one major part of my journey. But then after that was my search for masters. And each time I went searching for my master, there was a divine, you could say,
alignment?
Something like a destiny, like
Yeah.
fireworks of destiny.
Yeah.
Every single time I connected with each of the masters, and it felt to me that they had been waiting for me.
Wow. Right. Because I read about this also, where you were asking to meet. You had told your master Ayya, your Guru Ayya, and you said you were intentionally shy, and you made a condition that you would do this only once you found a didgeridoo player.
Yes.
Tell me about that
Okay.
experience.
Now, when I reached America, I missed my guru so much, so I would incorporate them within my yoga and get closer to them through my breath and breath beyond breath, and then I realized they were present in me. So Guru Ayya comes and tells me, how about you singing for the world?
Wow.
Create your music.
Yeah.
So I thought my breath is long. And I thought only a didgeridoo can actually help me attain that. So I put a condition. The very next yoga class I thought a didgeridoo master comes and I tell him, hey, this is my idea.
Yeah.
He introduces me to a guy called Ed Wing, a master composer. And Wing says, come, let's do it. Let's create it. Now, once we got started, Wing tells me, you know the guy in Yanni?
Of course.
His keyboardist is here in Los Angeles and wants to help you.
Yeah.
Can we call him in? And I said, yes.
Of course.
And then we started working through, and I realized, we were beginning to realize, our Siddha mantras were dance driven. In other words, in the core of a mantra, it's like an atom. The core of a mantra is like Nataraja, Lord Nataraja, the dance. And so we began to work with it and realized, my God, this is genius, because the Siddha mantra by itself has the energy of the dance in it.
Yeah.
And so that's how the first album was created.
Beautiful.
2 years later, I get a call, and this guy tells me, as per kinesiology, there was Dr. David Hawkins, who basically scientifically worked out the vibrations, saying that any vibration of 500 heals, anything above 800 is rare. And this guy called me to say, Conscious Multimedia Database mentions that your music broke the 1200 layer of
Outstanding.
this thing. And then I realized that's the tapas of my gurus that came to play, that first, in the very first place, created the music.
Nandhiji, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you, to hear about your journey, and more excitedly to hear about the way ahead. We wish you and your entire team all the very best for this most important thing that you are out to achieve.
Gratitude, Divine Brother, and let consciousness triumph. Saivam Vetri.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.